Okay, aloha there. This is Darcy Frankel. Today I'm coming to you literally from my Hanalei Day Spa. Those of you know me know that I'm the managing owner of the Hanalei Day Spa here on Kauai. A lot of times I come to you from my home office, but today we're here at the spa. We've reopened, so come on down for your couples massage. We're focusing exclusively on beachside right now for everybody's comfort and safety. All right. Today, I'm going to talk about the 8 ways that toxins cause harm in the body, from killing good positive bacteria to harming DNA. We're going to unpack it and go deep. I have a really nice, lot of great information for you. So let's just dive in. The 8 ways that toxins affect us, the ways that they actually cause harm in our bodies. As you may or may not know, toxins can be found in an endless number of places, including the water that we drink, the foods that we eat, the air that we're breathing in, our cleaning products, our body products, even some medications have toxins in them. Now, these toxins could be applied to your skin through the use of body products you use, which literally can sometimes go directly into your bloodstream. You could also breathe these toxins in through, toxins that are in air fresheners, excuse me, the toxins in air fresheners, the toxins, let's say you're going for a walk around your neighborhood and you smell, oh, someone's doing their laundry. Well, you're actually breathing in the particles of those chemicals from the laundry detergents and fabric softeners. Fabric softeners have these ingredients that have them stick to clothes. So I wonder what that does to our lungs. Now, poisonous toxins exist in commercial laundry detergents, dryer sheets, toothpastes, other dental products, even Tampax contains toxins. Toxins are everywhere, and it's nearly impossible to eliminate all the toxicity from our lives. However, it is possible to reduce our exposure to these toxins. So we learn about all these different ways that we're exposed to toxins. I've actually codified the 7 categories of toxins. I don't know if you've seen that video. Let me pop a link up here if you're interested. I actually did a talk about that today. I'm facilitating a virtual group cleanse right now. And let's see if this is it. Okay, that's not it. Here. Excuse me. So you can go to my YouTube channel if you haven't already and find that video called The 7 Categories of Toxins. It's really a great video. It was I got that from I did a whole webinar, and all this information comes from my 30 years in practicing Ayurvedic medicine. So for those of you who don't know me, again, I'm the owner of the day spa, but I also been practicing Ayurvedic medicine for almost 30 years. I know, I'm too young. I know I look too young. I started in my last life. That's my mother's joke. I can't totally take credit for that. So I've been helping people to cleanse for all that time, and pretty much my whole life I've been in the healing field and helping people. So those of you who know me well know I've been a long-time massage therapist. So, whether I'm doing that with hands-on or helping people cleanse with one of my online courses, that's a little bit about me. But I want to talk about you today. So if you want to hear more about the 7 categories of toxins, go to that video. And also, when you find value, please like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Ring that bell. Ring that bell. I'm such a dork, I know. Can't help it. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. That helps me when you do that, and it helps you because you'll get value. Now, I'm coming back to the 4 goals of the serious cleanse. It's really important for us to learn about the 7 different types of toxins that we're exposed to so we can prevent them, to cleanse these very specific toxins from our body, to track our progress as we do so, and to prevent these toxins from getting in our body in the first place. Because let's face it, it's way easier to prevent toxins from getting in our body in the first place than it is to actually cleanse them. Oh my gosh. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the different ways that toxins actually affect you. There are many, many, many different ways, and it's important for everybody to learn that. Now, I'm not trying to, promote fear or anything, but we just really need to know how these toxins affect us so that we can, really prevent them. Let's see, I'm just finding my notes here. Okay. So some toxins, I'll give you a little overview and then we'll go deeper. Now, some toxins block the body's hormone response or reduce the body's ability to eliminate the very toxins that cause them. Or some other toxins cause severe inflammation events and even organ damage, while other toxins, this is so creepy, other toxins trick the body by displacing essential minerals in the body or in the bones. And other toxins, so there's this mimicking or masquerading effect that some toxins do. It's really strange. And other toxins actually kill good bacteria on our skin, in our vagina, in the mouth, whatnot, and in the gut. There's also this process called bioaccumulation. This is when toxins build up faster than they can be eliminated, and that happens in our body as well as on the planet. Now, what happens is toxins then begin to stagnate and they get stuck circulating in the body, or they deposit somewhere. And there's different, each toxin has its profile. I'm not going to go into that, I'm not going to drill down that much, but you can take a look at some of my other videos, and I'm going to do a real deep dive on aluminum and mercury soon, and then that'll give you the profile about where these specific where they tend to hide out. But some of them, they'll deposit in fat, the blood, the brain, which is scary, and they cause gnarly symptoms, debilitating and actually fatal, fatal symptoms. Okay, hold on, let me take a sip. Nice spring water. All right. So then this causes different types of irritation, damage, inflammation, and a host of other things, which can include everything from these random new diseases and disorders, fibromyalgia, ulcerative colitis, autoimmune diseases and disorders, to cancers, or even just simple rashes. Now, then the body is exposed and re-exposed to other toxins, which can cause further damage. Now, what happens is the 4 organs of detoxification are responsible for processing these toxins out of the body, and they frequently get overburdened is what happens. And that's the case with most everyone nowadays, because we are exposed to toxins from every single turn. And again, I don't mean to cause, fear or anything like that. I just really want to educate us. Now, what happens is that these pathways, when they aren't functioning correctly, toxins tend to build up in the 4 organs of detoxification. Some of you have been with me a long time, and you know that I practice Ayurvedic medicine or have done Panchakarma with me. And this is a program where we literally go through the tissues and eliminate toxins. Now, there's a handful of ways to do this, and my experience has shown me ways to eliminate these toxins in the most comfortable and safe way. So for decades I've been literally like, I had my, up to my ears in people's toxins and helping them cleanse them out. And now what I've been doing the last handful of years is helping folks to learn about these toxins and to prevent them so that we don't have to do a 7 or 10-day program, once or twice or 3 times a year to eliminate these causative factors to disease. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and write them and I will respond to them. Thank you, by the way, for your time. Now, let's see, the 4 organs of detoxification and elimination, also known as the 4 pathways of detoxification. Now, these are simply the liver, the kidneys, the skin, and the lymphatic system. So there are other organs of detoxification, like the lungs, we exhale, the gut as well. But for all intents and purposes, these are the main 4 organs of detoxification that get, kind of overburdened. Now, what happens is they get just full. And in Ayurveda, we have this whole samprapti where the toxins build up, and then they start to overflow in the area, and then they deposit, and then they overflow even more and kind of fester into some disease. Well, I'm here to tell you this doesn't have to happen, and there are very simple, even simple triage things that we can do when we're exposed. And, there are daily routines that we practice and things to do on a seasonal basis where you can literally cleanse these toxins. So stick with me and I'll help you do that. Now I want to share with you, so I mentioned simple triage things to do when we're exposed, and I'll share with you a story about toxic dentistry. How quick thinking saved my brain. So one time I went to, let's see if there's any comments. So one time I went to my dentist, actually my orthodontist in my hometown, and I visited him to see how he's doing. I wore braces from 13 to 16, and they offered to fit me for a retainer. So I said, okay, fit me for a retainer. Well, I don't know if you've ever gone through that process. They have 2 bundles of chemicals, basically, and they mix them together with some, universal solution, perhaps water. And they can't even keep them together because, they'll set and they're super toxic. So then they smeared it on the roof of my mouth, and within seconds, maybe 30 seconds, it was done, and they popped it off, and I rinsed my mouth out, and I was on my merry way. Well, before I can even touch the doorknob to leave, my head started pounding. Oh my gosh, it was pounding. I had a really bad headache, and I thought, oh my gosh, what did they do? They just smeared chemicals where? Right next to my brain. Of course I had a headache. And I'm not a headache type of person. I don't I rarely get headaches, but I had a headache. So I go to my car and I quick grab my emergency kit. By the way, if you haven't seen my video on what's in your emergency kit, you want to check that out because it's a great video. Grab my emergency kit, pull out my activated charcoal, and I got the little cup from them, put water in there, swished it around. Activated charcoal is a known binder. It's a universal binder. It's an amazing substance. It has extra surface areas that actually grab and bind to toxins. In fact, if you've ingested some type of poison, they'll say take charcoal, take activated charcoal, or even if you had powdered charcoal, you can take that. So and of course, if you get poison, God forbid, knock on wood, call poison control because it might not be the exact binder that you need for that exposure. But I'm sharing with you kind of a triage situation where I used a binder where I had an exposure to toxin that, who knows if I was exposed to that for a longer period of time, it, could have caused damage to my brain. So I'm holding this in my mouth and swishing, and I spit it out and I rinsed my mouth out. Then I took 3 of the capsules and then I swished again. Within 10 minutes, that splitting headache was completely gone. Completely gone. It had affected me almost immediately, but I acted immediately, and I got my emergency kit. And that's how I use my quick thinking, my quick superhero-like reflexes and healing wisdom to absorb the poison and prevent it from, from affecting me. Oh, look, I have a link right here. Let's see if I can put that in here for you. Post a comment. Well, let's see if I can put this. I'll put this little link in for you. Bing. Such a great video. Okay, it's right here. Oh, wait. There. That one. Oh, there. I'll take that one off and I'll put that one. So, yeah, that's kind of hard. You're going to just type that in. Yeah. Look for what's in my emergency kit. Okay, so I'm going to hide that thing because that's just a long... Anyways, so now before I go into the 8 ways that toxins cause harm, you need to know a few things. You need to know that some substances are more toxic than others. Now, a toxicity of a material is often described by its effects, its potency, and length of exposure. Okay, so right then, with that story, I was exposed to these toxins for what, 30 seconds? And I got a splitting headache. So what if I was exposed to it for a longer period of time? So remember, the toxicity of a material is often described by its effects, its potency, and its length of exposure. Another example is if you are sprayed with pesticides during a flight on an airplane, oh yeah, that's a thing, and it's actually called disinsection. And I have a lesson in my Serious Cleanse 30-day challenge, called travel hacking, and they learn all about the different types of toxins that you're exposed to during travel. Now, if you're sprayed, as I was once when I went to Australia, sprayed with pesticides, bing, on a flight, it's different than if you live near a golf course where they routinely spray pesticides. And your skin, your lungs, the drinking water, your showering water are routinely, constantly exposed to toxins on a daily basis. Now, did you get that? You can have an acute exposure, like when I went to Australia, or had the roof of my mouth exposed to those toxins, or routine exposure. Does that make sense? Similarly, if you only occasionally dry clean your clothes, most commercial dry cleaners use a dangerous toxic chemical called perchloroethylene. But normally, use a toxic free and clear type of detergent at home, you'll experience much less toxic exposure. Now, just so you know, the perchloroethylene can disrupt the endocrine system and cause other adverse effects. So I'm going to share with you some toxic exposure factors to consider. Now, it's important to remember that being exposed to toxins is not similar to stubbing your toe. When you stub your toe, you feel the entirety of the effect at once. Excuse me. I stubbed my toe a couple years ago. It hurt. I broke it. But when you're being exposed to toxins, some of the results may show up immediately, but others may take decades to appear. So types of effects. Some toxins may have an immediate impact resulting in vomiting or rash, my hair's tickling my nose, in vomiting or a rash. Remember that headache I got when I was fitted for a retainer? Whereas others can cause cancer a decade or 2 or 3 later, as in the case of surf legend, Hawaiian surf legend, Rel Sun. As a child, she would play in the DDT spray from that the trucks went through the neighborhoods on Oahu, and they considered it the miracle spray because it killed the mosquitoes that could cause malaria. Well, these companies didn't, DuPont didn't disclose the fact that that was an extremely toxic chemical, or a combination of chemicals. And so years later, so Rel Sun, if you know anything about her, she lived a very healthy life. She was always swimming, always eating healthy, eating great foods, free diving, very active. She didn't eat junk food. And so she just knew that the cause, when later in life, 3 decades later, she battled for 15 years with breast cancer. She just knew that it was because of her exposure to the DDT as a child. So that's the one of a type of exposure, type of effect. The second thing to consider is potency. Potency pertains to the strength of a chemical. The more potent the chemical, the more toxic it is to the body. Now, Serious Cleanse would like to thank and acknowledge the detailed information, the outline that I'm using here from the New York State Department of Health and their guide, What You Know Can Help You, an Introduction to Toxic Substances. I was inspired by their information and findings, and it's a very good source of this, information about potency, types of exposure, types of effects that I'm talking about here. Of course, I, didn't plagiarize. I changed some of the wording, but I want to acknowledge them. Now, 3 is exposure. A chemical can cause health effects only when it makes contact, some type of contact. Are we breathing it in? Are we touching it? Is it, if, let's say, there's a lot of different chemicals in our laundry detergent, and are we laying on that? We're exposed to these toxins in chemicals, synthetic toxins in laundry detergents 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're laying in the sheets. We're wearing these clothes. So exposure. Let's see. And then another example is drinking water tainted with chlorine, fluoride, or chloramine, which is chlorine plus ammonia. Now, there's different routes of exposure, and I'll just give some of these. I'll just go through that. There's inhalation. For instance, this is so sad. During the fires, the forest fires in California in 2018 and 2019, many homes had large quantities and varieties of toxic chemical items on the property. And what happened was these toxins went into the air. Naturally, this affected the local water, the air, it all just circulated into the environment. Unfortunately, people are still inhaling those deadly toxins. These toxins enter our tissues through the lungs and can easily add to our already overburdened toxic burden. Remember, if you can smell something, you are breathing in the particles. The smell is the particulate. So when you walk down the street and you smell someone's fresh laundry, that's it. When you walk into a room and you smell mold, you are breathing in the particles. The smell is the particulate. Please see my videos, Wildfires, Your Toxic Exposure, and 10 Things You Can Do About It. Next way we take in toxins is ingesting. This is through food, water, drink. And remember, we either filter out through our discretion. We either filter toxins out, or we become the filter. So either buy a filter or you become the filter. Also, children are at a higher risk for ingesting toxic substances and in things like dust and soil and chemicals in the on the floors. So if you're cleaning with a toxic cleaner, you know, the kids and pets are so much closer to the floor. And direct contact through touching. Now, the next aspect is dose. You know, how much are you getting for your body? So adult dosage is way too high for a child to absorb. The greater the quantity of a substance a person exposed to, the more likely the negative health effects will occur. Large amounts of a relatively harmful substance can also be toxic. For example, if someone eats foods containing trace amount of glyphosate 3 times a day, daily for 5 years, they're more likely to experience the negative effects of the poisonous pesticide than someone who has 1 bowl of Cheerios. Now, there are studies and reports that show that Cheerios contain the toxic pesticide glyphosate. Okay, exposure medium. So that's, you know, the medium, whether it's food or fumes on an airplane, whatnot. Length of exposure. And then there's acute exposure, like I had, or a consistent exposure. Combinations of chemicals are really, it's a well-known fact that combinations of chemicals can intensify and amplify each other. The more combinations, the more the effects. I did another video called Receipts and Hand Sanitizers and Eating, the Triple Whammy. And this is a great video to help you understand this. It's a perfect storm of toxicity. Let's see. And sensitivity. People have different levels of sensitivity, age factors, illness. Okay, now that you know the types of effects, the potency, let's talk about the 8 specific ways that toxins cause harm in the body. So way number 1, toxins drastically reduce the body's ability to detoxify. Remember, the more combinations of toxins, the worse the effect. So our body can't continually eliminate if it's getting, you know, toxins poured on. This can potentially cause many health issues, and the body's working overtime to just survive. The more toxic the body is, the more significant the damage to the pathways or detoxification organs, and the more an individual actually needs to cleanse these specific organs of detoxification. Ironically, that's when we really don't feel good and you don't want to do anything. But as soon as we do these things, these cleansing measures, we feel better. So if you're doing my Serious Cleanse 30-day challenge, you've already been doing cleansing practices every single day. So number 2 is organ damage. Toxins can cause damage to every single organ and bodily system. The main organs are the skin, liver, kidneys, lung, and digestive systems. Different toxins go to different organs. The heavy metals have an affinity towards the brain, towards, you know, the producing these harmful neurological effects such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. I was just reading a report about chloropyrifos. It's linked to acute pesticide poisoning and cause convulsions and respiratory paralysis and sometimes even death. It's found in residues in broccoli, in apples that are not organic. There's been a big push to have some of these removed, but big pharma and big ag has, I guess, some investment in that. Now, I'm going to give you a super high pressure sales pitch. I've created my Serious Cleanse 30-day challenge and cleansing kit with this in mind. The entire cleansing kit and the 30-day online program helps to address all 4 organs of detoxification. I will post a link for you right here, and you could learn more about my 30-day, my Serious Cleanse 30-day challenge, and I also have this protocol also. So let me just go back to this one. Okay, so that's my super high pressure. I know, it's not very, it's weak. But if you're interested in cleansing, check that out. Now, 3 examples about how toxins cause organ damage. Aluminum, found in baking powder, fillings, tap water, can be linked to Alzheimer's, dementia, senility, breast cancer, colitis. Check out my other video about, is your deodorant toxic? Lead is deadly and debilitating. It's found in automobile exhaust, cigarette smoke, hair dyes, etc. It lowers IQ. Arsenic is another example about how toxins cause organ damage. It's known to damage the body's ability to metabolize glucose, so it causes insulin resistance and diabetes. Found in tap water. Number 3, DNA damage, quickening aging. Chemicals act on biological molecules and affect their functioning. DNA are our basic building blocks for our life. So when our DNA becomes damaged, it damages our health overall. Phthalates are toxins and found in many, many, many different products. So many that it would be hard to count. Some examples are nail polish, hairsprays, aftershave lotions, soaps, shampoos, lotions, wrapping on food products, detergents, food packaging materials, carpeting, wall coverings, vinyl flooring, plastic of all kinds, dashboards, car interiors, lubricating oils, fragrances, and the list goes on. And here's a bummer, that new car smell that we love so much, it's all made of phthalates. Yup, it's toxic. It causes DNA damage, degeneration, and increased deterioration, which is the rate at which the body ages. Number 4, changes our DNA. Remember those studies? Atrazine, for instance, is the commonly used pesticide, which has contaminated a lot of drinking water and turns male into female frogs. Is it feminizing the population? They can interfere with or block hormones, endocrine disruptors. Now, certain toxins such as BPA can block hormone production. They can inhibit, imitate, induce, disrupt, and block hormones and hormone functions. BPA, as you may or may not know, is found in plastics of all kinds. Plastic baggies, food containers, food storage, dental sealants. BPA mimics estrogen, often called pseudoestrogen. It leads to breast cancer, obesity, early puberty, miscarriages, and other health problems. If it says BPA free, it's probably one of its siblings and still can cause damage. Number 6, damaged cell membranes. Number 7, displaced minerals. Similar to how BPA mimics estrogen, some toxins can trick the body and replace important minerals. Healthy minerals can be displaced by toxins, such as mercury. They look just like the thing. Lead and arsenic. Arsenic replaces zinc. We need zinc. It's really good for immunity. And aluminum can stop the body's ability to digest and make use of calcium. So if you have aluminum toxicity, if you have arsenic, if you have mercury, you need to do a heavy metal cleanse. One more very high pressure sales pitch for my Serious Cleanse 30-day challenge. You want to check it out. It's less than a spa visit here. And I walk you through every single organ and tissue and all aspects of cleansing. Our physical body, our mind, even our emotions, your home, your car, all of it. Check that out. All right, number 8, way that toxins harm our body is to poison enzymes and bacteria. Now, toxins damage precious enzymes and the body's healthy bacteria. Now, this means that really good bacteria on your skin and in the intestines, they get damaged by these certain toxins. This, in turn, has a domino effect and can affect many other organs and tissues and systems. It also increases free radical damage and leads to accelerated and premature aging. Alrighty, phew. So that is the 8 ways that toxins cause harm. And if you have any questions about that, go ahead and write them in the comments. I always respond to you. When you find value, I know this was a lot of information, and when you find value, please like, comment, and share. I've shared a lot of great information with you today. I hope that you found it really valuable. So go ahead and like, comment, and share. Thank you for your time today. It's always such a great pleasure to share with you and be in the same space with you. If you want to go deeper, check out my YouTube channel and you can binge watch. I even put webinars up there. There's some like super long, hour-long things all about health, well-being, communication, and lots of great things for you. So let me take a look and see if there's any questions or comments. I am live. Oh, yes, I am, Nina. I didn't see any other comments for now, but I'll respond to your comments. Thanks for the love. Thanks for your time. And as we say here, aloha, like, comment, and share. And ring that bell. Ring my bell. And then you'll get alerted. Thank you so much. Aloha.